Hello and welcome to CR News. I'm Jaxon Pace. Here at River, we produce stories in order to shed a unique view on school news from the eye of a student. We're starting today with a heads up to our River community. You will soon be seeing this logo. River, along with all high schools in the Vancouver School District, are unifying their font styles, logos, and overall branding. For River, this means officially moving away from our traditional chieftain head and using just the CR letters. The rollout of the new logo is starting right now. Today's first story introduces you to CR's new athletic director, Mr. Nick Davies, who joins us from Jesuit High School in Portland. The story is brought to you by CR-TV associate producers Jessica, Grace, and Allie.
A former teacher and coach at Jesuit High School, Mr. Davies has come to River to take the place of Tony Liberator, who is moving to Fort Vancouver High School. Becoming a new associate principal, Mr. Davies has to deal with a lot.
Could be leadership meetings with the other associate principals and Mr. Odepal, certainly dealing with coaches and any athlete issues, like a lot of eligibility issues at the beginning of the season. Any ninth grade discipline or anything that comes up with ninth graders. It could be like if they get hurt in PE class or things like that. I deal with ninth graders along with facilities.
Although his job seems tough, Mr. Davies believes that what he does has its benefits.
So not eating in the carpeted areas does mean not eating.
Mr. Davies believes in building good academic relationships between teachers and students, and he wants to bring that kind of development to Columbia River.
So certainly when I was a teacher, I'd look back on, I was a math teacher and I had a favorite math teacher, and he was phenomenal at just getting kids to buy into doing math and wanting to do more math, not just like the minimum to pass the class, but to keep going and learning more just for the sake of learning. And so trying to emulate that and model that when I became a teacher, because I knew how well it resonated, not just with me, but any of his students, I tried to do that as well, and then just carry that on. The best teachers, and you guys would probably agree, the best teachers you have are the ones who create the best relationships with. And that's true whether you're a teacher or any employee in a school. We're just trying to build relationships with kids. So I've tried to model that as well. Don't worry.
That was nice. They just filled the door until you walked out.
I think pretty sure.
Yeah. No, we actually walked.
So I've lived in Vancouver for a while now. It's actually unrelated to the job. But I'm most looking forward to living close or working close to home. I live in the area, and so I had a 21-mile commute to Jesuit last year, and I've got a 2-mile commute to River now, which means I get to see my family more often.
Mr. Davies is excited to get to work and ready to see our school spirit firsthand.
You want to add something?
This is my first high school in Vancouver. Yeah.
Speaking of athletics, this year, the Columbia River girls soccer team won first in the 2A League for state.
The girls soccer team won the state 2A title this fall. They went undefeated in league and in state and only lost once in districts. We asked 3 of the girls about what winning state meant to them as seniors.
It means like everything to me. Just the opportunity to even go to state all 4 years is really cool. And then I won my freshman year. So like having 2 state titles and getting 2 stars is incredible, and just having that amazing feeling is just super satisfying, and it's just a great accomplishment.
Winning the state championship means to me, it just shows that all of our dedication and hard work has been proven, and that we are able to push through anything and everything, going through a lot of injuries and tough competition. So.
For me, I think that winning the state championship just proved how far our team came throughout the season. And even though we had a really good record, I think that it showed that even though we went through ups and downs, it was really awesome. We were able to come out on top. And being a senior, it felt really good to leave the trophy behind in a way, and leave a legacy behind for all of the underclassmen, the freshmen, everyone, just to prove that that was kind of our last thing that we were able to achieve while we were playing soccer. So that was really cool.
We also asked them how their team went about winning the state title.
I mean, we played our hearts out. We left everything on the field. We were really tired after the game before. So like going and playing a game one day after is really draining. It's just a really draining feeling like on our bodies, but we ended up just like pushing ourselves and everybody got to play, which was really cool.
They did really well keeping their composure as we were undefeated majority of our season besides the districts, and being able to know that, you know, you can't just stop working and that we still have a lot to go through. So.
I think we did amazing. It was really awesome to just see everyone's hard work and dedication, not only throughout the whole season, but in the home stretch. And that last championship game, everyone was so beat up and everything. And so just seeing how much heart and grit everyone had, like that was really, really awesome. And I couldn't be more proud of everyone.
Finally, we asked them about the team mentality they had going into this season. These were their answers.
I had a really good feeling, like ever since our very first game, I knew we were going to go really far, and I had a really good feeling about it.
I think we all knew that we were going to be a solid team, but I don't think we thought we would make it that far. We were pushing for it, but I think, like I said, the hard work ended up going through.
I don't know. You never really know going into it how the season is going to go. I think we kind of predicted that we were going to have ups and downs because every year we, you know, even though we only lost one game, that was kind of our fire. And so at that point, like, obviously our goal was to win a state championship. And I think everyone wanted that so bad, and being able to win it kind of just proved how much we wanted it.
It's just like senior year, just being able to like leave that legacy is super, super cool, and like going out with a bang is just really cool.
The soccer team, as you saw, was led by Coach Philomena Finnegas, who took home the Coach of the Year award for girls soccer. Our girls soccer team also featured the Defensive Player of the Year, Allison Countryman, and All-Region Player of the Year, Yanesi Rodriguez. Boys tennis won the Doubles Team of the Year award for the pair of Max Furstenberg and Alex Miller. Their coach, Jim Seval, was given the Coach of the Year honor for a great boys tennis season. And finally, Aiden Rowley was the runner of the year this fall with his cross-country coach, Josh Christensen, as Coach of the Year. But our amazing athletes aren't the only inspiring students we have here at River. IB art student Bridgette Brommell was one of the winners of a Google video game contest for girls. This story was produced by Jalen Gaylor.
Columbia River High School is full of passionate art students who make the school a more colorful and creative campus. Jason Phelps is the art teacher who oversees these students and guides their creativity. One student who has made a particular impact on the school is Bridgette Brommell. When Mr. Phelps introduced the opportunity for his female art students to create a video game, she decided that she should take part in the Google Change the Game initiative and got to work in March of 2018. Through hard work and dedication, Bridgette created a video game and was chosen as one of Google's 5 finalists.
We're on the 3rd year of having Bridgette in my art class. This is her 2nd year in IB art. The thing about Bridgette is that she takes on projects without really worrying about how much work it takes and how much stress it might involve, because she really seems to just like learning and also like the creative process. So Bridgette entered into Google's Reimagine the Game competition, and what she did is she designed a video game. This is a nationwide competition that celebrates women playing video games and designing video games, just to get women more involved and more represented into the video game industry.
So my story is called Loon, and it's like a sci-fi, a little bit cyberpunk story about this abandoned human colony on the moon, and you play as the AI Turin, who's awoken up here and has no idea what's going on or who she is, and you move through the world trying to understand like the characters around you, what happened to get you all here, and while also trying to find yourself, because in the game you can in a way choose an alignment. Will you rely on your human emotions that you're able to fabricate, or will you go to the side of the machines, or will you find the middle ground, all the while an alien threat begins to encroach upon the group? So it's a bit of a race against time while also trying to figure out who you are. I think that it's a mixture of creating the art and writing the story, because creating the art was so cool because I got to bring the characters to life and I put all these things I had in my mind down on paper. And then writing the story was super duper amazing because it's like the first time I had done something that big, and I got to craft like the whole world and really develop ideas that I hadn't gotten to do before, and it was just so cool to watch it come to life as I worked.
Bridgette is the second art student to become one of Google's finalists in this project, with another participating just last year.
Bridgette is an amazing representative of our IB art program, and through that she's representative of Columbia River because our students are so diverse here, and that the arts are a major part of what we do at Columbia River. And I'm just really proud that she was able to bring Columbia River and our art department some notoriety.
Bridgette helps represent Columbia River's array of talented students and the creativity that they bring to the school. Congratulations to Bridgette and her success.
Along with the many amazing River kids who get publicly noticed, there's a cross-section of our student body who doesn't get a lot of attention outside of River. Those are the kids that CR Principal Alex Odepal and River teachers look for when deciding on the CR Principals Council. Take a look.
Chieftains, the Principals Advisory Council has begun meeting this year. As some of you may know, the Principals Advisory Council is a group of students that bring potential issues and improvements to Mr. Odepal about the school's climate and the need of staff and students. The council will have around 5 to 6 meetings throughout the school year, and more will be added if important ideas are brought to the council's attention. Meetings take place during 2nd and 6th period and count as school excused absences. Currently, there are 71 members in the council, and there is no cap on the number of people that are allowed.
So the Principals Advisory Council is a group of students that are nominated by classroom teachers and staff here at Columbia River High School, where I put out the feelers, asked staff, like, who are the rising stars in our school, students that may not be in a formal leadership role. The students are going to speak their voice and be articulate and share with me what their experience here at Columbia River High School is all about and what we can do to improve that on a daily basis. And I'll ask students to let me know what they want to address. It may be things like how students interact or speak to one another in the hallway. We might drill down to something as general as that and kind of build on actionable items that we can take on in terms of, again, the larger picture is improving our climate and culture here at River. This provides an avenue for students to access me, access our leadership team, and then for us to report back to staff and our entire community about what we can do to make the school better.
To make the whole process go smoother, Mr. Odepal is also working with a couple of other staff members who help.
Vanessa Bravo, who teaches choir and Spanish, and is doing a lot of deep work with climate and culture and guiding our entire school to identify blind spots that we might have. So we go about our daily business of teaching and learning, but are we tending to all the needs that students have? Are we tending to all the needs that staff have in terms of like taking care of one another? And Elizabeth Vaughn, who's a math support, works with our Leaser Branch campus here at River and is an aspiring administrator. And so she will also take on the leadership role. That allowed the three of us working on this together has allowed us to expand the group, because I think the three of us, we can balance and try to get as much feedback as possible. And it's not going to be overwhelming if it was just one of us taking on the leadership role.
In 2017, voters approved a bond measure to remodel some of the Vancouver School District buildings. One of those buildings is River. At the beginning of the year, we talked to Mr. Odepal about what was going to happen and when.
Here at River. Right behind me will be the new addition.
In the new wing, there will be mainly science classes.
The portables are going to stay in place until we have classrooms constructed. So that's going to take at least 16 to 18 months and beyond.
The existing 500 wing and the portals will be gone. New parking lot will be developed along with a changed traffic flow.
We want to disrupt as little as possible. So in January, we're going to start seeing more personnel, whether that be contractors or district personnel, adding to the facilities and maintaining and making sure that, number one, we're being safe. Number two, instruction in the classrooms disrupted as little as possible. Of course, there are going to be disruptions, and we're going to try our best to stick to time frames and timelines that we lay out. But there's always other factors that impact our best laid plans.
Right now, the plan is to have equipment staged on an open plot of land above the current 500 wing, and then start construction of the new building. Parking and traffic will be a nightmare for the time being. However, once construction is completed, traffic will hopefully be much smoother.
So the impact will be a significant reduction in available parking spaces in the west, which will create some overflow and really we're going to have an overabundance of requests for parking, but will remain in the east parking lot. But we're going to rely on our community partners. We're reaching out to, again, our partners at Columbia Christian Church and other organizations nearby. We're going to encourage students and families to work together and carpool. Our district transportation is a terrific option for students that are nearby that can take advantage of that. That'll be the priority, is getting, number one, our buses through and trying to figure that out. So that's work that we're completing this fall, and certainly before January, we will alert everyone to our plans and updates.
Once the new 500 wing starts construction, parking will be impacted significantly. However, classrooms will not be moved until construction is finished.
The benefit that I see in the long run is we have a lot of potholes, and we have a lot of, for lack of a better term, dilapidated concrete back here. And so I'm looking very forward to the end of the project, which will provide added spaces, better asphalt, and a better, smoother surface, and certainly safer travel.
Construction will aim to provide a better parking lot with more space. Students will no longer have to travel across the parking lot to get to the portables. They will go through the newly constructed corridor once it is completed.
We'll have one building that'll be actually where we are standing right now will be a corridor connecting to a new structure, and that will all be enclosed. And so we'll have a significantly safer area back here in the back parking lot.
Some in-school alterations will happen along with the plans to improve the west side of the school.
So we're looking at January is when you will start to see equipment up on the terrace area, and then inside the building there will be some modifications made initially, and then over the course of the summer things will really amp up.
In those construction plans, we are going to turn our black box, which is currently a multi-use presentation space, into 6 classrooms.
The black box will be undergoing construction in the near future. Because the portables are being deconstructed, the black box will be transformed into new classrooms. We interviewed Mr. Phelps about the topic.
I teach art at Columbia River High School. I run an art club. I have the IB classes. We have an IB exhibition once a year. We do field trips.
The black box has been the art room of Columbia River for a long time. Students use the black box as a gallery to show their works of art.
We've used the black box in the last few years for the IB art exhibition, and where it's a required exhibition by IB, and the kids set up their work over the last couple of years, and we have a celebration, but they also document their work and they send it to IB.
With the black box being reused as a place for classrooms, the art class that Mr. Phelps runs will be moved to the library.
The future of the art show for this year is going to be in the library. Ms. Ferguson has agreed to work with us on setting up walls and taking away tables and making space for us. I don't know if we would continue in the library for years to come after that. I don't know if there's options in the redesign. From what I understand, there's not. So the new home for the IB Art Show may be in the library, which poses some problems, because there's no walls there, and it needs to be used as a library. But for this year anyway, we know how we're going to make it work.
This art show is put on by students every year, but how long does it last?
The art show takes 6 to 7 days. We take a day for setup, a day for taking down, and the art show is on Monday through Friday, so it's a week.
Because the art class will be moved from the black box, the students that are in Mr. Phelps' art class will be affected by this action. The real question is, how much will this change the curriculum for the art students?
I don't want it to affect their curriculum. The students traditionally have known it's in the black box, so they know that they hang things from the ceiling. They know the kind of lighting that we have in there with the stage lights. They know that they have a lot of space in front of them on the floor. Potentially, it could scare kids away from more ambitious works of art, which would be a shame if that was the case. But this year, with the number of kids we have, I think everybody should have plenty of space to be as ambitious as they can be with their art.
Now that the art class and gallery will be moved to the library, this might impact the students' work because it is a completely different environment. Students' ideas to do things in the black box for their work will be changed because they won't be able to put their work there anymore.
They may see their work as not fitting, as being too tall, or not being able to use the ceiling to hang from. There may be the question about how it looks in a library. Again, it's all those unknown factors because we haven't had it there. Working with Mr. Odepal and the administration on getting the resources we need to create what looks more like a gallery space, to actually put up walls, white walls, so it looks like a white wall gallery. Hopefully, if I do a good job, the students will realize they don't have to worry about anything, but
all of this construction will be starting soon. For our final story, we check back in with Principal Odepal.
The only thing that they can expect to see different coming back from break is going to be a few classrooms will be continuing to pack up and box up some materials. There may be some furniture moving around, but at this point in time, we're going to wait until the end of January before we see any significant movement. The capital bonds project bid process has been pushed back, which I think is actually a good thing for us because that gives us a bit more time to prepare for beginning the second semester with some different looks. And again, that's only going to be 6 classrooms that are going to be impacted at this time in this school year. As far as parking goes, we're going to continue to go as is, and in the month of January, towards the end of January, you can look for some announcements about some changes there. But for right now, enjoy the holiday, and when we come back, we'll begin to get the word out with some real specifics so that we can all move forward together.
That's all we have for our first episode of CR News this year. Make sure to check out all the other work we do here at CRTV. You can find it all on our CRTV YouTube channel. To keep up with all we do, make sure to follow us on our Twitter and our Instagram accounts. Thanks for watching. It's a great day to be a chieftain.
If you want a rigorous, challenging curriculum,
is focused and driven on excelling in all your classes,
encouraging kids to prepare, at a level that is a college level.
Instead of just memorizing a bunch of facts for a multiple choice test, it teaches you the process of learning.
Making sure that you can understand a problem, that you can find facts to back up an argument, that you can create an argument that's cohesive and coherent.
It teaches you perseverance, it teaches you critical thinking, it teaches you time management.
Very beneficial coming into college, into the workforce.
The IB program will help you hone skills and will make you knowledgeable in a lot of different areas. And that combination allows a lot of doors to stay open for you as a young adult.
It's 100% a valuable thing to do. And it's very rewarding because you end up going into college and realizing, oh, this is actually a lot easier than I thought it would be, or I understand this concept more because I've had this background in IB. I've been able to learn about this.
You come here to do your passion, which is science, math, English, video. You come here for your passion, and scary, like, oh, it's IB, it's extra work, it's so hard. No, it's not going to be hard if it's your passion.
IB, and whether it's the diploma program or the career program, what it offers is an opportunity for you to find out what you're most interested in. And when you're doing something that you're passionate about or that you're actually just really intrigued by, you reach what artists, architects, what a lot of people refer to as flow. You're just in that moment and you're going because it's so interesting.
As long as you are productive and you use your time wisely, it's not the level of crazy that everyone says it is.
When your teachers give you work time in class, maybe you should actually work instead of talking to your friends, and then you won't have as much homework.
You have to have the intent and the drive to sit down and work for 2 or 3 hours and get everything done in that time span.
As long as you're on top of your stuff during the week and allocate proper time during the weekend for homework, yeah, you have time to do whatever you want. But you have to prioritize. You can't be in 10 different clubs and 3 different sports and still do IB. You can still do 3 sports. There are many people I was friends with who graduated full IB that were 3-season athletes all 4 years of high school. But they might have been in less clubs. But it's possible, but you just can't do everything.
The truth is that you have to go into it being prepared that you are going into a higher caliber learning path. And that is the truth. But it does not kill you. It does not beat you down. If anything, it builds you up because you have an IB community that everyone's going through it together, and you have teachers who are going to prepare you for what you need to do. And there are also, I think it's really important to know, lots of paths you can do in IB. You don't have to do the full diploma. You can pick certain areas that you want to focus on and still get the skills that IB teaches you, but not die with a full IB course load.
Everybody does fine in the program. I mean, if you put in the work and you talk to teachers, you'll do well. I think, because that's one thing that I really valued about the teachers here, is that everybody wants you to do well. I mean, it's their job, to make sure that we're prepared for our classes, but more than that, they want to see us succeed. They want us to do well in our exams, and they want us to be super excited about studying the curve and the bio exam or whatever.
The teachers are there for you. They don't want to, drown you. They want to help you. They want to see you succeed.
It's a great place to work as a teacher here. I work with fabulous teachers, wonderful, experienced teachers that know their stuff, and they love kids.
We've got great students, great families, great support. Our staff is amazing. The educational programs we have here are outstanding, and students can challenge themselves, yet participate in a lot of different activities and events.
River's for everybody. They have something for everybody here. And none of it's like freshmen and seniors. There's not a huge underclassmen, upperclassmen. Like, you have friends in every class, in every grade. You can do so many sports. There are so many electives and classes that you can take.
IB for everyone. I think there's this perception that it's only for top-notch students, and I think that, again, with organization and study skills, and if you're willing to work hard, that IB programs are available to any student who wants to access those. So there's not some, these limitations, and it's a choice.
Education is a powerful thing to have, and to be at this school, you will get a pretty stellar education, and it's important to use that tool to help other people.
It makes you mindful of being somebody who's part of a larger world community. And I think for those reasons, it's appealing to me, and I think it's appealing to parents whose goal in life isn't just, I want you to be a successful person and make money, but I want you to be a good person. I want you to be a fine human being. That, I think, is what sells me on IB.